Namaste mere pyare bachcho and welcome back. I know, exams are right here and the tension is building up, right? But please, don't you worry. Today, we are going to tackle John Milton's poems on time and on Shakespeare. And I promise you, by the time we're done, you'll feel like they're the easiest things in your textbook.
You know, when you first look at these poems, you probably think, oh my God, what is this English? It looks so tough. But that's just the old-fashioned wrapper. Once we open it up and see the main idea inside, you'll see it's actually super simple and really beautiful. So, fic or not, are you ready? Let's do this together.
So here's our game plan for today. It's really simple. We'll start with Milton, the superstar poet himself. Then we'll jump into the first poem, Time versus Eternity, and look at some important questions. After that, we'll cover the second poem about Shakespeare's legacy and its QAA. And stick around till the end, because I have a final cheat sheet just for you. Easy peasy.
All right, first up, let's talk about the man of the hour, John Milton. Now, please, don't think of him as some boring guy from your history book. No. This man was a proper rock star of his time. Let's find out why he's such a big deal.
Okay, check out this quick timeline of his life. He started out as a brilliant student, like a total bookworm, reading everything he could find. But then, look at this. At age 45, he went completely blind, all because he studied so hard. Can you even imagine? But here's the most amazing part. Even after losing his sight, he didn't give up. He created his greatest poems, like Paradise Lost, by just speaking them out loud from memory. What a legend, seriously.
Okay, let's dive into our first poem, On Time. Now, the easiest way to get this is to think of it like a big movie. You have a villain and you have a hero. In this story, the villain is time and our hero is eternity. So let's see who wins this big battle.
Just look at how Milton starts the poem. He's talking directly to time, like it's a person standing right there. He's saying, "Go on, you jealous time. Just finish your race already." He even calls the hours lazy and leaden stepping. Leaden means heavy, like lead. So basically, he's trash-talking time, telling it that it's slow, boring, and not that powerful.
And this table right here, it explains everything. On the left side, we have our villain, time. It eats up everything. It's all about fake and useless stuff, and in the end, it just destroys itself. But on the right, we have our hero, eternity. It's about happiness, truth, peace, things that are divine and last forever. So the main point is simple. Time is temporary, but eternity wins in the end.
And remember that phrase, heavy plummets pace? You might be wondering, what's a plummet? Well, it's just that heavy metal thingy you see inside old grandfather clocks. You know, the one that goes tick, tock, so slowly. Milton uses that image just to show how boring and painfully slow time on Earth can feel.
Okay, bachcho, that's the explanation part done. Now let's get down to business. The stuff that's gonna get you marks in your exam. The questions and answers. So pay very close attention. This is how you write the perfect answers.
Now, this question is a classic. It's an absolute favorite for exam paper setters. They just want you to list the good things about eternity and the bad things about time that Milton talks about. And we're going to make it super easy to remember.
Here you go, the perfect answer. In points. For time, just remember, false and vain things, mortal dross, which just means worthless stuff, and greed. For eternity, remember, bliss and joy, truth, peace and love, and the big win over death. Just write these points down, and you've got yourself a full marks answer. See? Simple.
Fantastic. Let's move on to our second poem. And it's about a name that I know you all know and love, Shakespeare. Milton was a massive fan. And in this poem, he asks a really cool question. If someone is truly great, what's the best way to remember them? What's a real monument?
Milton starts off by asking this question. He says, "Does my man Shakespeare really need a huge tomb made of piled stones? Does he need some giant pyramid that took ages to build just so we remember him?" What do you think the answer is going to be? It's a big fat no.
And this slide makes his point crystal clear. Look, on the left you have a stone monument. Milton calls it a weak witness because, buildings can break and get old. But on the right, that's Shakespeare's real monument, a lifelong or a living monument. It's his work, his books, his plays that live forever inside our hearts and minds every single time we read them.
Now, this is such a beautiful idea. Milton says Shakespeare's real tomb is inside us. It's that feeling of wonder and astonishment, that wow feeling we get when we read his work. His words are so good they make us marble with too much conceiving. It just means we are frozen in awe like a marble statue, just thinking about his genius. So in a way, we become his living monuments. How amazing is that?
Brilliant. You've totally got the main idea. So now you know the drill. Let's get you ready for the exam questions for this poem. I've got all the key points you need for a fantastic answer right here.
Okay, this is another really important question. It's basically asking, how did Shakespeare inspire all the other writers and poets who came after him? What made him so special? Let's break down Milton's answer.
Here are your magic points for the answer. First, his writing, what Milton calls easy numbers, just flows so smoothly and naturally. Second, his stories leave a deep impression on everyone's heart. Third, he inspires our imagination, our fancy. And last, his legacy is so huge that even kings would be jealous and wish to be remembered like him, not in a cold stone tomb, but in the warm hearts of millions of people.
All right, my dear students, we are almost there. And as I promised, here it is, your final revision cheat sheet. Think of this as your little superpower. It's everything you need for a quick look right before you walk into that exam hall.
So, let's do a super quick recap. For On Time, the big idea is, time is the villain, eternity is the hero. The message for you is, don't sweat the small stuff, focus on good things that last. For On Shakespeare, the big idea is, an artist's real monument is their art. The message for you is, true greatness is about the impact you have on people. And that's it. You've cracked both poems.
Okay, before you go, I have one last question for you. Milton wrote this almost 400 years ago, right? But think about today. Who is a modern creator, maybe a YouTuber you watch all the time, a singer you love, or an author? Who do you think has built a live-long monument in people's hearts with their work? It's a cool thing to think about. All right, that's all from me today. All the very best for your exams. You are going to be absolutely amazing. Bye-bye.